Stand to, my warriors, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And last time, we managed to basically finish off the rest of a planet. We did another really interesting mission where we had to fight off a couple of lances, and the Shadehawk managed to do some phenomenal long-range shooting, and we also took a mission that basically we killed 3 mechs in order to make 750,000 Seabills. It was a rather genius plan, but we have moved on since then. We've taken a bit of a trip and gotten several mechs completed on the building as we have arrived at the brand new planet, and we figure we're going to start things off today with a bit of a test drive. We've captured the latest pride and joy of the Draconis Combine, the Catapult CPLT K5. Our scientists have been reverse engineering the monster, but now they say it's time and they need a real battle data before they can continue. We'd like you to provide that data. They've located a Davian Lance to use as a guinea pig. The CPLT-K5, take the CPLT-K5 down to the planet and eliminate that Lance. Needless to say, we don't have another one of these, so it's imperative that you return it intact. This will be 4 of 17 priority salvage, 564,400 Seabills at 3 full skulls of difficulty. And of course, because it's a test drive, we will not be utilizing mission control. It is not active on this level, and so we're down to only 4 mechs, which means we brought 3 of our own and then 1 more. Alrighty, so we have Jester driving the catapult itself. It is armed with 2 medium pulse lasers and 2 MRM-30s, so it's a solid, okay design. Not amazing, but fairly good. Death Crusade inside of the Shadowhawk, and the Shadowhawk has received a bit of a change since the last time. Originally, the Shadowhawk was equipped with, well, not originally, but the version we had been using, small X-Pulse laser on the arm, an AC-10 in the shoulder, and a brisk MML 15. Well, we recently came into possession of 2 Risk MML 20s, and I threw them on here because I was at a loss as to what to do with this mech and didn't quite know. It has a interesting combination of weapons. We are equipped with LRMs, both normal and listen kill rounds in order to be extra powerful, and then we can swap over to SRMs where we have listen kill SRMs, Inferno SRMs, and normal SRMs because I didn't have enough listen kills. We have hopefully enough Infernos in order to keep someone a little bit toasty at night, 10 rounds worth of shooting in that one, but yeah, a little bit of a long range fire support build. I'm not really sold on it or keeping it as it is right now just in order to have it, but that may change in the future. A Paradox in the Wolverine, it is as it has always been, and Howl of course driving her Gladiator, which is a little bit more close range focus than the Shadowhawk. So, with that out of the way, let's rush on forward to the Davian Forces and say hi. So, 3 skull mission. It's the hardest mission I think we've taken to date. However, we did bring along an okay mech in order to do the job. Again, the twin MRM-30s are fairly powerful. Should be able to get the range just right. How far can you jump? This is not... Okay, you can actually jump a little bit farther, I think. So we're going to hop you off over here, get you some evasion, and also brace you up. So basically, you take no penalties for having done that. And then we'll bring on, of course, Death Crusade and the Shadowhawk, which I'd like to get on top of somebody and just light somebody entirely on fire with all the Infernos. That is kind of like the low-key thinking on what to do with that mech, is just torch the entire universe. So with any luck, it'll work out. There we go. We have identified a whole group of people. We have a Bushwhacker, easy kill. Take out the torso on a Bushwhacker. It's got an XL engine. You will steal a Bushwhacker, 4 parts to it. It's amazing. Just focus on that and you'll do it, no problem. A Yellow Jacket, very dangerous. I thought that was another Yellow Jacket. Finding these things. A Hawkmoth, also dangerous. I believe it's equipped with Gauss Rifle. And then a Fulcrum, which is sort of dangerous. We do not have a line of sight on any of these targets, which is a bit unfortunate, because had we been able to shoot at the VTOLs before they could actually move, that would make our lives much easier. But it appears the Bushwhacker is going to come flying forward, open fire with his LBX and pretty much everything. He's got an LB5, a large laser, and 2 machine guns, as well as his missiles, which I believe he's got an LRM-5 and an SRM-4. I think that's the way that it shakes out. I do have a side angle shot on you with the Gladiator, so I'm going to take it, because that'll make you vulnerable. Fire everything! Good hits on targets, sort of. He shot down several. He does have an AMS in the air that we're going to have to worry about, but hopefully we can take care of that without too much trouble. And the enemy is attempting to reposition on us somewhere, although the Bushwhacker is on fire, which is a good position. Now, the AMS being on the field is a bit of a problem, because I have 2 mechs that are equipped with mass missiles. One has 60 launchers, the other one has 40s, and so that might become a bit of a problem moving forward. Oh, wow. I'm not sure what that is, but that is, I think, probably the electronic countermeasure system. Can't really be sure. It's not super important, but what we're going to do is we're going to come right up on top of you. Oh, it's his electronic warfare ping, because he's got an electronic warfare system on board, so he can ping to try and counter everybody's movements. SRMs would be 28, LRMs would be 28. Ugh, It's really kind of terrible in general. Just fire everything. We'll fire at LRMs for now. That way we can use the SRMs for when we actually get fairly decent shots at closer range. Starting fires all over the place, which is always nice and interesting. However, we do need to get a line of sight on these aircraft and just nuke them into the ground. Looks like he wasn't able to counter any sort of our firing, so that's good. And neither of the MMLs actually managed to jam, which is also very important, because if those MMLs jam, he's basically helpless for a little while. He does have the E-War ping in order to sort of make up for that a little bit, but it is not something that I quite want to test too much. And somebody just laid down some electronic countermeasure. That is not good. Okay, Jester, I'm going to have you position yourself like so. Yeah, we've got some real counter jamming going on. Medium pulses swap out. We shut off these. No, this is just not worth the heat. We will do nothing. We shall wait until we can get closer and counter jam the Fulcrum, because I think the Fulcrum is the thing laying down the protection. It might be the VTOLs, but I'm kind of hoping not, because otherwise we're going to have one heck of a time actually getting good and accurate shots on the enemy. Future evac zone, we will probably continue to move on there, but I would like to take these guys out before the Hawkmoth and the fire... Man, it's not a fire mandrill. The Yellow Jacket can do anything. Alright, Paradox in the Wolverine. Time to get me lines of sight. Right, so I'm not actually seeing anybody who's got electronic countermeasure going on here. I'm gonna shoot at the Yellow Jacket because I've got to pull that thing out of the sky real quick. Didn't see any AMS opening fire. Also didn't kill him, which is a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping that he would just cease to exist in fairly short order, but someone's jamming me at some place. And the Bushwhacker is on 16. I will beat him with pretty much everybody except Jester, which is a bit unfortunate. MRM's massing into his side may have done a lot of work. Howl might be the next person to move up in there, though. I do have to be worried about these VTOLs. They are quite dangerous. The Fulcrum moving on forward, and there's the ECM field. Right. Fulcrum, luckily for us, didn't actually do anything. So I do not have a way of countering his jamming at the moment, aside, of course, from walking up on top of him, maybe nailing him. He's got 108, but he's got 80 in the back. Give me that rear shot. We're just going to open up everything. Oh, it's so terrible. It really is quite terrible. I would need to get a lot of accurate shots into him. Shoot. I was really kind of hoping that would get through. 4 of them got down by the AMS, which is a bit unfortunate. Enemy turn on that one, but we do have to deal with his Fulcrum soon. Hawkmoth moving on forward. Now this could be dangerous. He can have a Gauss rifle. He did not open fire with it though, so that makes our life just a little bit easier. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into point blank range with you, my friend, and I'm going to make you wish. Actually, can I EWS ping? Ends your turn, so we would prefer not to, obviously. If I wanted to shoot you 54% with listen kills, set them to Infernos. Let's see if I can't light them on fire at all. That's a lot of burn. Oh yeah, plus 90 heat. He's lost his unsteady. He's gonna have a bit of a bad day. Oh, the Bushwhacker's gonna move, but he's on fire, so attempting to shoot anything this round is moderately suicidal, because dude, you're gonna cook. You are going to overheat, and I will probably get even more parts to a Bushwhacker. That'll make my life a lot easier. Did you use the AMS to try and shoot me down? His heat is critical. His shutdown did not occur, but his shutdown is going to happen next turn, whether he wants it or not. I will not allow him to resist. Place myself right here, so I have options. I could go for you. I could go for you. I'm going to go for you. If I can make you unsteady enough, I can have some good, easy times. We're just laying the fire everywhere. It's quite beautiful, actually. Yellow Jacket moving away, but the Yellow Jacket is a very, very, very dangerous opponent in the right circumstances. Alright, the Wolverine is in a position, hopefully, to do something, maybe, potentially. Guns ablazing. Could shoot at the Hawkmoth, not particularly good accuracy. I will split fire. I'm not going to move while doing this, which will make me vulnerable to the VTOLs, which always a little bit dangerous. There we go. So the Hawkmoth is target, has a ballistic, and Bravo is a 31. Yeah, that's what we wanted. So missiles on you. Did manage to shoot down 4 of 6, which is very unfortunate. And got some good hits, structure exposed on the Hawkmoth. If I can get just a little more firepower onto it, I can bring it screaming down from being all that dangerous. And the Bushwhacker going to run through more fire, plus 30 heat. He's going to just keep shooting. He wants it. He wants that aggression. But if you keep that up, buddy, you are going to turn off. And he's off. Okay. So Howl probably is in as good a position as any to try and kill this guy. Good hits on that one. That's all right. So we're going to shift over slightly to the side so we continue to be looking somewhat aggressive. I think... No, I don't have my back to the enemy at the moment. So phase 16, we have a couple of pilots who worked below that threshold, which is not grand. The Fulcrum is 14, so I'm... Oh, it's such a shame that Howl managed to spread the fire along both of those sides. If she had focused on the single side, we could have really had a much easier time knocking the enemy down. But yeah, him being offline is going to be very, very bad for him. Damage for standing in fire. So apparently the VTOL gets cooked. I'm liking this a lot, because VTOLs are vehicles, and vehicles do not like fire. But yeah, the fact that we're able to just basically torch down the entire forest is, in my book, a fantastic thing that we can do. So, very, very happy. Only one of the MMLs actually also jammed, so that'll allow us to be very aggressive moving forward as well. So we can probably get even more Infernos down on him if we need to. Jester. Jester's catapult is honestly probably in perfect position to try and deal with this, because we might be able to cut through that armor. There's not a whole heck of a lot left, and we may get some penetrators. Could shoot at you, but the chances to hit, thanks to all the jamming going on from this Welcome, are too much to handle. So come on, just be accurate somewhat. There we go, just barely. They're managing to put in just enough damage to finally wipe them out. That will take away their protection on this. Hi, buddy. Oh, you are so vulnerable. I don't have a multi-target, unfortunately. And you are the last person going. The bushwhacker I think we can handle later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out of the flames, because I don't have much of a choice, and I don't want to stand in the flames. So we are on chemical fire. Managed to take care of most of that heat, so that's grand. Actually, what kind of heatsink kit do you have? I don't think I have a prototype double heatsink kit in you. It's just a standard double. Okay, so we took care of the heat, no problem. I couldn't target you, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to target you. I'm not going to use Infernos on this one. I'm going to use Listen Kills for the additional damage, because I just need to penetrate his armor, and there goes the Hawk Moth. We've taken care of that. Lovely. So now he's down. We still have the Yellow Jacket to worry about, and Yellow Jackets can come in with lots of bombs, which is a problem. So what I'm going to do is 31%. I may ignore you, actually. 60%. I'm not going to ignore you. I'm going to shoot you down. Alright, another VTOL out of the fight. We have that taken care of. So hopefully the Shadowhawk will move before the Bushwhacker. I don't think that it will, but I have some dreams and hopes that it might end up happening. Although he's not going to be able to turn on, so it doesn't really matter. Fire this head. See if we can't steal a little bit off of him. If I can just fire enough rounds into his face, I might actually be able to get that stolen on him. So, pretty decent accuracy. Go for the head. I could go for the side torso too, and also go for the leg. Lower leg destroyed, so it does look like he's going to be going down in the near future. He is unsettled. I would be a little bit more than unsettled on that point, if I'm completely honest. I'm going to move up. How much you got left here? Yeah, I'm going to move right on in here. We're going to just blow apart your left torso. That'll get us the parts that we need and make our lives easier. And there goes his XL engine. So left torso, left arm. Did not take out his leg. That'll be 4 of those, so that'll be lovely. We got inbound, so we're going to go off and take care of him. So primary targets are down. We can evac at any moment. And Howl, let's start moving on towards the next group, because we may as well get a full testing on this one. We didn't take too much damage, so we are feeling a little bit good about being able to engage the rest of the enemy force. And hopefully the MMLs on the Shadowhawk will be back online. They are lovely, so that'll mean that we will have the full might and firepower of whatever we want to throw at the enemy. Wait, really? Oh, Alaram stuff. So they are Satellarms, which is fine, because we will probably need them. So his MMLs are fully back online, which means we have that ability to completely wipe somebody out in terms of trying to cook. Hopefully it's another Bushwhacker, although honestly, maybe I shouldn't be hoping for Bushwhackers. We use Bushwhackers a lot. They tend to be very important mechs to us. In every single campaign that I've ever played, the Bushwhacker always ends up becoming very important. We've got a Striker, a Galleon. Is it just going to be tanks? I mean, I suppose and a quick draw. Okay, so got a heavy mech. I mean, it's not a great heavy mech. Quick draws are rather lackluster, if I'm completely honest. Anything else? We have also identified a harasser. Okay, so we've got basically a vehicle lance. Rather ignorable. Fire everything. We don't suffer any problems with shooting all of our weapons at a target, so I don't see any reason not to. I'm going to sprint on forward. Can I get a line of sight? It's only an obstructed line of sight. Can I get anything? Not really. That's a bit disappointing. Okay, the Shadowhawk, on the other hand, I can... Well, it doesn't really matter if I don't get a direct line of sight, because next turn I will get up on top of them in order to cook them pretty gosh darn bad. We will fire the 23s. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Right. MMLs can jam. Did you not jam? You didn't jam. Lovely. So we will be able to boil him in oil just a little bit. So rush on forward. I will actually move just straight on in, and next round we'll be able to engage with the full might and firepower that we can bring to bear. I doubt the gladiator can get into range. It's quick. Oh, never mind. Wow, was not expecting that at all. So the gladiator is actually going to get into a relatively good position. It'll have side angle shots on basically anybody it wants. Galleon is, I believe, 3 enemy. Striker is no. The quick draw is a fairly decent shot anyway. Kind of want to pull the harasser off the board because the harasser is fast and maneuverable, and I want to remove fast and maneuverable from the board so I'm not just chasing people down. Besides, nobody of these guys is actually providing any actual protection in any significant way. So I will sprint, get those good angles that we want. So give us options. Anybody we wish to destroy, we can. LRM 6, SRM 10. Medium pulse lasers. Interesting. Can you bore him? Yeah, you might be able to. Drill, baby, drill. See if we can't just drill in with the lasers, and there he goes. Oh, the MRM's proven just enough damage to do it. I'm liking this catapult. It's a fun catapult. Alright, the Wolverine probably needs to stand a little bit further back. After all, it's not exactly designed for close range combat. And nailed that striker quite well. We've taken out most of the Comstar force. Oh, they're Comstar forces. Ooh, that could be bad. So the striker managed to get quite a few hits on the catapult. However, it looks like he had a hot load to do that, and he managed to break himself, or at least his LRM 10, and that's not great. Ace Pilot moving on forward on that one, but the Shadowhawk is not going to bother with that. The Shadowhawk has more important things to do, like set these suckers to SRMs, set them to Infernos. It's time to start a barbecue. So, oh yes. Oh, very much yes. Plus 105 feet. And the Gladiator. The Gladiator could probably kill you from a front. In fact, that's exactly what we're going to try to do. There we go. So now we're just dealing with the quick draw. And with the quick draw having so much heat on him, we're probably going to be able to do whatever the heck we want to it. Because, dude, you can't do anything. I mean, if you fire, you're going to boil yourself, and I'm just going to continue to... Wow. He wants it. He wants it bad. But that's a shutdown, baby. And you're never, ever turning on ever again. I don't know if he's realized that just about yet, but his entire ability to turn on doesn't exist anymore, because the moment you shut down, you have to get underneath a certain heat threshold in order to turn back on. So Heatsink Destroy, we've managed to get a little bit of damage onto him. Kinda hoping to blow his head off, if I'm completely honest. Paradox. Yeah, it's super high chance to hit anyway. Yeah, I'd really like to take his head. I don't know if that's going to happen. Left torso destroyed. Jump jet's destroyed. Yeah, he's panicking, but, I mean, I suppose I can try and punch him just to see if we can't, you know, get him to eject. I don't know if you can eject while you're offline. That's a knockdown and a panic. He's going to be on the ground. He's panicking, and his mech is never turning on ever again. So I'm going to see what happens if we just start stepping on him, because he's never turning on ever again. We are just going to be able to cook him every single time he tries. So there's really no reason not to try and steal him. Hey, he bailed. Okay, so that'll be 4 parts to the mech. Unfortunately, because we managed to tear off one of the shoulders, I don't think we're getting the entire quick draw. We do have a dragon part, but not a quick draw part, so it's a nice pickup of heavy mech material, but we're not going to get anything super cool out of it. We'll probably steal more stuff from the Hawkmoth. Maybe the Fulcrum. That seemed to be a fairly interesting ECM system that he was packing with him. So 655,590, because we got the additional 35% for doing that mission. And I did accidentally have the bottom row of mechs all filled out and ready to go, which was a bit of a mistake. Bushworker, only 3 parts of the quick drop. Disappointing. Another Gauss Rifle Blackwell. The Blackwell Gauss Rifles are super common. I don't know why. Whole bunch of medium lasers, medium pulse lasers, machine guns, SRMs of boring descriptions. A Beagle Active Probe is not terrible. Endosteel might be interesting, but I think I'm just going to grab the Bushwhacker parts. Engine Core 300, don't want the XL engine. XL engines are bad. Plus, I still have one. I used to have 3. I sold 2, bought myself a light engine, because I would rather have the light engine for the larger mechs that we use. Another double Gauss Rifle, however, I'm up to 3, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Listen kills, I could actually use listen kills and just swap out more, but I think what we're going to do, some of this kit is interesting, but the only real interesting kit is the Bushwhacker. So I'm going to grab all the Bushwhacker parts, because I want to have a fairly decent medium mech. Lock it down. And we got to the quick draw parts, so again, we can just basically beat the crap out of a quick draw and manage to steal most of that as well. Got a medium pulse laser tag, 060 engine out of an urban mech, which is terrible, but hey, we're going to deal with it. And we didn't get some of the really interesting gear, but at the end of the day, we came here probably for the bushwhacker parts, and we left with the bushwhacker parts, so it worked out quite nicely for us. So a 3-skull mission, able to knock that down without too much trouble, although we did have help in the form of that catapult. It is a heavy mech. It's a fairly solid, reliable design. It's a good heavy mech, too. The twin medium pulse and the MRM-30s give it a fairly decent amount of, you're trying to dodge me? No, I have too much to be dodged. So 60 missiles, 6 laser shots, it works out pretty good. So I know the medium pulse lasers are not optimal. Ideally, you would have 6 medium lasers, but that would take you a little bit more tonnage. So not a terrible combination at all. I quite did like it, and I might try and build a mech like that someday, although we kind of actually have. The Shadowhawk is a very similar design vein, although a little bit too light to be able to fully pull off what it does. 13,000 for the next 4 days, because we're starting to build even more larger mechs, and we have to keep that in mind. We're currently working on the next upgrade for Beta Pod, which took a lot of our money. We're still in the hole a little bit, but it's not all that severe. The Gladiators a day, the Wolverines a day. We have 3 mech bay repair parts, so it's going to be 3 days before we can field the next, which is fine, because it's going to take us about 2 days actually to get our pilots back, but that'll be pretty okay. So we will tick the clock on just a few days. Hey, it looks like Coach is getting VIP quarters. Lost unstable. Good. All right, so that helps out a little bit. And he has gained high spirits for the next 30 days. He wasn't low spirits the last time we actually saw him, so that's pretty good. We managed to pick up the high spirits on that one. That'll allow us to take resolve abilities a little bit easier. Not that we use them anyway. And we got all of our mechs fixed and ready to go. So we do also have, aside from that one other mech, the Griffin is now out of repairs and he's now functional. The problem is the Griffin that we currently have is terrible. I built this when I didn't have parts. We had no stuff to put in it, and we got stuff by the end of the time we left. Unfortunately, it's going to take me about 1 million C-bills to rebuild this thing, but as you can see, this is pretty awful. It is a Thunderbolt 10, which is basically an AC 10, and 3 medium lasers. That's just not great. So it doesn't have any sort of engine system in order to improve that. However, what we are going to do, or at least what I'd like to do, take the light engine, we throw that in there, we come over here for the ferrofibrous, we throw in client endo steel, we throw in the double XL gyro, we pull off one of these, and then we strip out all of the, actually no, we keep the Thunderbolt in. That's right, the Thunderbolt stays. We pull out these, and some of you may have noticed something. Oh yeah, one more piece is what we need. We need the patchwork materials, 6 tons. You may have noticed. Oh yeah, and the heatsink, can't forget. Throw that in there. And what we do is we go over to lasers, and we grab ourselves triple large laser. And now you may say, well, Tirak, that is simply too much heat to handle. But you're forgetting, it's a prototype double heatsink kit. And the prototype double heatsink kit is minus 20% weapon heat generation. That's amazing. This sucker generates 68 for 40, but will probably stay pretty gosh darn cold. But as you can see, it'll take us 1 million C-bills to build, so that's going to take a little while, and I may decide I don't want to end up doing this, but this is currently the thought that's on my mind. Also change out the fire control system, probably for something a little bit better. But yeah, right now the Griffin is pretty terrible. Not going to lie, it's, well, it's not all that great. Although I do like the fact that it's got like a flamer on the other head, even though it's supposed to not be a flamer. Okay, so quick check on our mech warriors. Now that everybody's done, we need a little bit of cash. Not sure. Well, actually, no, there is a mission that we were going to take for cash. So Coach is fine, Death Crusade is fine, Fiend is fine, Howl's fine, Jester's fine, Mockingbird is fine, Paladin's fine, Paradox is fine, and Showboat is fine. So since all our pilots are fine and all of our mechs are in tip-top condition, there was a mission that I wanted to grab, and I believe it was a 2 of 9. So you know it's going to be hard. Last mech standing. There we go. A lance of pirate mechs. So I want to take this one for all cash just to put me in a nice, comfortable money position. Because we started this being very much in the hole, and we're still in the hole. And at the end of the day, they're pirate mechs. So it's going to be a 2-skull mission. But hey, hopefully we'll get a bit of work done. So we're going to shift everybody down just a little bit. That way we get everybody back and ready to go. I am going to grab the Griffin. Oh, I'm not so convinced about this Griffin, if I'm completely honest. But hey, it's a mech that we've got. I'm going to put Death Crusade in the Griffin, and that way I can put Jester inside the Shadowhawk to hopefully reduce the jamming chance that's going to happen on that Shadowhawk. Then, of course, we have the Burna Boy as well as the Phoenix Hawk. Then, in order to give a little bit of flexibility, because he's missiles, he uses some missiles, and then Ballistic. So, Ballistic, and then Ballistic, because the Kitsutsuki has proven itself to be quite nice. And then, of course, we add in a little bit more missile with the Hammer. So our lance is actually getting to be fairly decent, actually. I am feeling pretty good. Gonna give Burna Boy to the Paladin. That'll give Mockingbird the Shadowhawk. Actually, does anybody? No, nobody does have a 7 gunnery just yet. That puts Finn in the Kitsutsuki, just in case it jams. He uses his ability, and Coach can drive the Hammer. Alrighty, so we're wrapping an entire 8 mech lance down on top of the enemy. We are fielding 370 tons, because we have 4 55-ton mechs, which feels really good. We're almost out of lights. We have 2 lights remaining, although the urban mechs are hanging on there. They are staying in the company. We have 4 of them, and we were for a time fielding all 4, and now we're down to just a single one. And really, I probably could swap out the Hammer for the Hachi. They fill a similar role, and in fact, if I wanted to, I could swap the weapons around completely. The only trouble is that it would take time because these mechs are not... Well, they don't have the ability to swap out all that easily. But yeah, that's not terrible at all. The Hammer especially, I mean, it's just a big urban mech at this point because it is a 30-ton mech and it had very similar hardpoints to the other ones. So really, it's not the biggest change in the world, but the MML-10s give it a little bit of flexibility. Also, its ammunition is loadout is much different. It is, after all, designed much more for long-range combat with all the LRMs and the SAM LRMs, and not so much for close-range combat. But anyway, last mech standing. A lance of pirate battle mechs has been rampaging in Tortugan territory on Basefield. They have been raising population centers, burning fields and refineries, looting storage facilities. They're clearly doing everything they can to think of to drive our people out. This is terrorism, pure and simple. We would like to find them and destroy them. No escape, no prisoners. I started to try and do a Russian accent there. It kind of melded Scottish, and you know what? I kind of gave up on it part of the way through. I'm not sure where to go with it. We need to come up with a good accent for our Tortugan guy, because the piratey accent is kind of hard on the throat. Anyway, 0 of 1 priority salvage, but we're making 1.125 million C-bills plus a 600, and 2 skull difficulty. So hopefully Howl's Harrows has a sufficient amount of firepower to break it, because we're actually bringing 2 skulls worth of lance, so we better hope for it. Alright, so a bit of a trip. Jeez, come on, game. Okay, so a bit of a trip. Alright, and the Griffin has a predator. Wait, you don't have a predator headset? Oh, it's a night mission. Interesting. So this, by the way, if you have a mech that has night vision systems or some sort of other image enhancement, you get to see in night vision unless you do not suffer for the consequences of being a night mission. But if you do not, you see it like this. Now, when a night mission is happening and when it is not all that clear, and the penalties for it I don't understand either, but I have people I can ask about it. Yesterday at the stream, but the stream is still happening in my future, so I may end up bugging someone to sort of explain night battles and how they work out to me. But anyway, so fielding the entire lands once again, which feels pretty good, man. Although, I gotta admit, the Griffin is not exactly what I would call a tip-top condition mech. Well, we are going to be able to make a decent amount of cash extra because destroying the support lances nets you an additional 10%, which is another 100,000 C-bills. So that's not bad. That'll actually help pay for the drop costs pretty nicely. Shadehawk with its penetrating Gauss rifle does not care for any sort of armor protection or, you know, bracing yourself. He will go through everything because he's got a breaching shot targeting computer, which allows it to just nail targets. Maybe I should have put the Gauss rifle targeting computer on there, but you know what? I liked the breaching shot one just a little bit better because of the fact that it saves about 20 damage when it hits. When the enemy can brace up in cover, they have like a 40% damage reduction. To put that into perspective, a hyper laser or an AZ-20, take your pick, either one, they do essentially the same thing, deals 100 damage. If you are braced, you take 60 damage. That is absurd amounts of damage taken down. In fact, it might even be they have a damage reduction of 60, I forget. But in any event, yeah, damage reduction is hugely powerful. Breaching shot can actually be quite a bit of a lifesaver. Now, if you're mostly utilizing really light weaponry, like SRMs and that sort of thing, the negative effect isn't felt quite so keenly because you're repeatedly firing damage, and so the fall off isn't quite as bad. But if you've got a single weapon attack, that becomes just huge. And yeah, I get it. At the end of the day, I suppose it is a bit of a wash, but still, it's very helpful to have access to things like breaching shot if you have only one weapon anywhere. So Yeah, the Griffin is... Oh, that Griffin... I built what I thought was the best thing I could build at the time, because I didn't want to just sitting in the hull waiting and doing nothing, but I kind of do regret building in the way that we did, because it's not good. It reminds me very much of the Shadowhawk that we just recently got rid of. Well, not got rid of, but rebuilt entirely with Risk launchers. But I wanted to build a little bit more into the energy department, and we had, at the end of the day, we had Thunderbolts, and I kind of wanted to build something with Thunderbolts just to see what would happen. But if the enemy has AMS, the Thunderbolts will do absolutely nothing, because they generally can almost not handle being shot at by AMS. They just do not manage to get through that sort of protection. It is their biggest weakness, but also at the same time, they are a missile that fires at missile ranges, utilizing indirect fire, at least if it does work the same way that it used to, for a fairly light weight on a single pinpoint. So it is a reasonable exchange, I suppose, at the end of the day, although it is a bit sad. Pardon me on that one. Alright, so we need to lock down the Shadowhawk, and now we just have a little bit more to worry about, and Paradox will hopefully get in the range of the enemy soon. Can we jump the Wolverine? I think we can. We'll bounce the Wolverine on forward. Hopefully we can get a line of sight on things. Unfortunately, no dice so far. Hammer. Time for you to rush on forward as well. The Hammer, also a long-range fire support. We actually have a lot of long-range fire support. Maybe I need to swap up the lances a bit. Have the first lance to be our close-range attack people, and the second lance be our long-range fire support, instead of just sort of organizing them by weight. Which, you know, it works in my head, but maybe there are some weaknesses to that. Because it's also very much a long-range fire support. AC2s have a massive dead zone on the center line, although the tactics skill will start to remove that pretty significantly. Griffin shifting on forward. Kind of wish I could have given it max jump jets, sort of turn it into like the Griffins of old. The Griffins that we used to build back during the vanilla playthrough that we had a Griffin that had four SRM 6s, which was fairly decent, because then we paired that with maximum jump jets, and that mech was really quick, really aggressive, allowed us to basically bounce on top of anybody that we wanted to. Unfortunately, we didn't end up using it all that often, purely because we had better mechs by that point. We had gotten into the heavy realm, and we were just using mostly all that. Alright, we've identified the enemy. Got a Blackjack, a BJP, a back in the corner, a Mongoose, which I think it's not... Yep. That's gonna suck. Okay, so... Luckily for us, the Hetzer is the worst Hetzer it could be. It is just the Hetzer AC-10. Actually, no, that's not true. The worst Hetzer it could be with a laser Hetzer that has 4 medium lasers. Second worst Hetzer it could be. The Trooper is basically a super light. Don't have to worry about it. The Blackjack Pirate could have some interesting gear on it. In fact, yeah, twin large pulse laser pirates are going to be a little bit painful to deal with. The Mongoose I don't care about because of the Mongoose, but this... Yep. That's gonna suck. Hopefully, we can beat it down before anything can happen. We do have Thunderbolts, and maybe I can get some long-range fire down. 10%. Actually, yeah, we'll just do a normal Thunderbolt. We'll fire to that 15. Fire! Oh, baby! You hit. I don't know how you hit. It was a 15% chance, but he nailed it. Good job. Okay, so the Griffin opening up, heard I was talking crap about it. It was like, hey, buddy, watch this. And you know what? Consider me schooled, because that did a number on the Trooper. It sounded like it ripped off his arm, which is great. I'm not going to fire my Risk MMLs. I don't want the jamming chance. A 10% chance to hit, you know, it's not all that great either. But, yeah, taking out Lady Electa's catapult is going to be super important. And I'm really, really, really irritated I didn't take this one for money, because we could have had a catapult. Oh, good. It's pulling back. That'll make our lives just a little bit easier. Maybe it's attempting to do a reverse slope defense. Unfortunately for him, reverse slope defenses don't exactly work all that great in this mod. Just saying. Burner Boy will be able to jump out of cover in order to keep itself evasive and forward. We are able to basically jam the enemy to smithereens, so I doubt their long-range fire support is going to be all that useful. Cicada, a 2P2, not sure what that brings to the table, but hey. And the Trooper moving on forward. Hopefully the Trooper doesn't have any actual ways of defending itself all that effectively, so I can just continue to lay down the massive long-range fire of that Thunderbolt. Could have used an HE, but I didn't sort of wanted to risk with it. An HE Thunderbolt would have been an area of effect, but there's nobody really scrunching up on him, so there's no reason to use it. So just the single target direct damage, although if you miss with an HE Thunderbolt, you still hit the people around it, so it might be worth using, especially if we manage to open up some criticals. Blackjack coming up forward and going to fire his pulse lasers towards the Shadehawk. Wow, lots of bursts coming in. Fortunately for us, not able to connect because the Shadehawk is super aggressive, super evasive, as well as having all the ECM going on. Hetzer surging on forward, not able to find a target with its AC-10, and that brings it back to us. All right, so the Shadehawk gets to get involved and gets to give back a little bit of its own, which is going to be great. We're going to rush on forward, keep ourselves in cover. Oh, is it worth going for the bracket? It's -1, but a +1. So we're going to take the evasion, surge on forward. That gives us a whole bunch of evasion, back up to the 4. We have identified a Fulcrum, which will be a bit of a problem, because the Fulcrum has ECM gear, so that'll make killing the catapult a lot harder. And missed by 4%. 4. So yeah, we got to kill that Fulcrum quick, because that Fulcrum is going to make all of our accuracy super terrible, if it is equipped at all like the last Fulcrum we ran into, which I have no reason to believe it isn't. Mongoose surging on forward. Doesn't look like he actually managed to get the range in, so good. The Hammer, probably not going to be able to get accurate fire with that Fulcrum in the area. Unfortunately, it's just a matter of he has ECM, and we don't have enough people in range to counter that ECM. Although 19%, I am going to take that. Yeah, we've got risk MMLs, but at the end of the day, the Hammer is not as reliant on them. I mean, it is, but getting a little bit of damage on will help out a bit more. So, although the Shadehawk is a little bit out on a limb at the moment, we gotta somehow get him back. Looks like some counter fire from some sort of laser firing towards the Hammer. Not able to connect, as we are at quite the distance. I'm a little surprised they targeted the Hammer. Death Crusade in the Shadowhawk. I'm just gonna rush on forward. We gotta get in as close as possible. 28%, 25%. Who's that 25 again? 5%, 25 is the Mongoose. Small pulse lasers. Wait a second. Suspicious cargo. He's a suicide bomb. Okay, we can't let that anywhere near there. Also, what's an AC-10 BB5X? So, large pulse laser, diverse optics. Right. It's basically a lot of pain. Yeah, I have listen kills available. They are selected. Open fire. Let's see if he's got AMS. Doesn't appear so that's good. Paradox can move the Wolverine on forward. The Wolverine is kind of designed for these long-range fire support roles, although I doubt it's going to have that much luck. Yeah, no connections on that one, unfortunately. So we're going to have to basically get a lot of people on top of this Blackjack in short order, and that's going to take time, which we may not have, although the Gladiator is going to be in a fairly okay position to keep the follow-up protection. Get a good blast on there with the PPC, so he has been stunned a little bit. So the snub-nosed PPCs doing their damage quite effectively once again. Managed to get a penetrating hit on through. Not sure what's up with this trooper. He is a ballistic, which we've destroyed, and 3 energy. I'm going to assume a machine gun. Although no guarantees. Griffin coming on forward, and the Griffin, of course, having his long-range fire capability. Although he's really primarily for his long-range fire capability, not much else. I'm going to target that Blackjack, I think. I mean, it's not great, but a 40%. He managed to miss basically everything. Probably should have fired in AoE mode had we have used the HE version of the round. We may have caused enough damage to crit his engine. Oh, never mind. For some reason, I thought his center torso was exposed. Apparently not. We haven't done that much damage to it just yet. So Trooper shifting off to the right. He's going to be a hard target to hit, which is why it was so good that we managed to nail that initial shot so early. And sprint on forward. Get as close as we can. I've got a line of sight. I'm going to ramp it up. We're going to go 4 shots on this one. 5 shots on this one. Hey, we got a decent number of hits actually on that Blackjack. I'm kind of surprised actually we didn't blow off his arm. Burner Boy is a bit stuck on a bit of a ledge, but that's okay. It wasn't intentional, but I'm going to take it. We're going to bounce on forward. I will just go fully aggression forward on this one instead of going off towards the trooper and spreading out. ECM protection for the Fulcrum going on. That's not good because now we've actually got to pay attention to fighting him from longer range. We're going to have to get in close if we want to do anything special. Ha ha! Behold! Our advanced AMS system on board. Shot down all 10 of his missiles. He stood no chance. Cicada coming on forward and going to fire a whole bunch more missiles. So, luckily for us, didn't hit the broadside of a barn, but those could be mines. That is the one thing that you always have to remember. Oh, you missed me entirely. Unless he brought mines. In which case, he didn't miss you at all. So we're going to find out as soon as we get a chance to actually look at anything. Incoming fire onto the Shadowhawk. Looks like pulse laser fire. Is that the Blackjack? Was he getting the turn before me? Oh, if it is, please have him come forward so I don't have to worry about that Fulcrum. Somebody's got twin large pulse lasers, and it should... Yeah, it was the Blackjack, and the Blackjack's going to fall back a little bit. Hetzer coming on forward. Got to be careful of this Hetzer. He does have a self-immolation device, which we would prefer not to have affected on anybody. Coming up on 25 as the first mover. So who would that be? Oh, is it the catapult? Wait, there's multiple blackjacks. Interesting problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are looking at 2 full lances. The mongoose falling back as well. Okay. The fewer targets that I have to focus on at the same time, the better. So we have Coach and the hammer, and then the Burna Boy. I think what the Burna Boy is going to do is going to attempt to remove the suspicious cargo from the equation. If you flew, you would get to pretty much the same location with a worse chance to hit. So we're just going to rush on forward, and hi, hopefully you die. You take additional damage, and good. So we managed to remove the Hetzer from the equation immediately. We don't have to deal with this suspicious cargo or whatever kind of LBB, whatever it was. I'm not sure what that kind of gun is, but hey, we no longer have to find out. 4.3, actually 14%. 16, and some more. Tempting. I mean, we won't hit him. Yeah, fire at him. See if we can't cover down the flanks a little bit by getting some accurate fire. A little bit of hitting, not too serious though. Unfortunately, the trooper's probably going to be able to get around behind us until eventually we really get involved in the fight. Alright, so I do want to sprint on forward as much as I can. Surprised that I'm being forced out of the forest. That's not great. Hi, buddy. You're vulnerable. You are my primary target, but yeah, I should have set up the electronic countermeasure. We'll fire at you. Keep the pressure going on him, sensors impaired, and we've managed to break important things. So we managed to break that quite nicely.
How's it going?
Alright, the Wolverine will shift on forward as well. Again, sprinting for that additional range bracket, because we do want to keep the pressure on. Not being viewed by the Fulcrum is always nice. Yeah, not very good accuracy, but we only need a couple of hits to hopefully, I don't know, make him unsteady. Yeah, we need a lot more than a couple of hits to make him unsteady. We'd need probably a direct hit from the Thunderbolt in order to make him unsteady. And catapult's coming back on in. Oh, you're a PPC catapult. Never mind. Okay. I thought you were Lady Electo's catapult. My mistake. Don't worry. We won't make it again. Probably because you won't make it again. I was trying to make that sound sinister, and then I was like, yeah, that doesn't really work. Oh, there's multiple ECMs in this area. That is painful. I'm going to set... I'm not sure what that happened. Okay. The cicada is the target, but I kind of want the blackjack. If I set this to high explosive, I get an increase in accuracy, it'll be a reduction in damage. And that's what I was hoping for. So, ammo explosion, Shaw, he's having a bad day. Apparently he didn't actually manage to shoot down the shot, which is pretty good. Who are you? You are the cicada. Okay, so the cicada and the Fulcrum are both providing overlapping fields of ECM protection. He's having just the worst day at the moment. I just need a little bit more fire into him. Hopefully he's not moving at 20. If he's not, then I can take advantage of that and kill him. But he is I can't call him a light mech. He's not. He's 45 tons, but which puts him firmly medium category. Not good medium category, by the way, just firmly medium category. Death Crusade? No. Finn? Yeah, Death Crusade. Ooh, that's not good. All right, so what we can do... What we do is we bring the Kitsutsuki in, so hopefully I can get a sensor lockdown on you. So lay the sensor lockdown to the blackjack. So we can get sensor locking going down, lock you down. And then we bring up Mockingbird and the Shadehawk. That'll give us an accurate shot, hopefully. 44%. Oh, missed by 16! So close. Yeah, I know. That was pretty bad, actually, because had we managed to hit that, that would have been an excellent amount of additional damage that we could have done. Unfortunately, it was not to be high. 47%. You don't say, I'm going to risk it. We're going to fire everything we've got. So burning through most of our listen kill ammo like it's gone out of style, and that takes out the mech. Okay, so the first of the blackjacks has been destroyed. That's 2 of 8 mechs destroyed already, and the trooper is doing whatever it is the trooper thinks he's going to do. I mean, if he gets on top of me, that might cause some problems, but for now, that'll be okay. Large lasers firing over towards the Burna Boy, but the Burna Boy is far too evasive and, you know, being jammed to the max. If I can get the Burna Boy on top of the catapult, that's going to be kind of ideal. It's got to be... Oh, so you're a blackjack... BJ2? Is that the one that's... No, I'm thinking the DB or the blackjack. Yeah, I think it's DB for the one, but he's not. He's a BJ2. Cicada coming up close and personal. Looks like he wants to get into a major brawl. Shooting into the Shadehawk, managing to get a couple of hits on him, which is unfortunate. Where's the Fulcrum? Where'd he go? Hopefully he's run away, because that'll give us less jamming to have to worry about. Although that also spreads out the targets a little bit more, which makes it harder to hunt them down and kill them before the catapult gets involved. Oh, I'm so annoyed that we're not going to get this catapult. We're getting one random part for this. And point defense has engaged you, sir. Did take a little bit of hitting, but still not bad done at all. 8 of 10 from the AMS, managing to be eliminated. So doing a good job, I think. Coach. So Coach's hammer starting to suffer from a little bit of a jam chance on this one. If I ran over here and tried to shoot at you, I can't even tell from this range. That's okay. What we're going to do instead is we're going to... Ooh, I know what to do. Reserve Coach. What I want is the Burner Boy. And I don't know why I wasn't thinking about this sooner, but that should have been the obvious thing. Actually, I need to see the fulcrum. Rear attack, fortunately for us, the Burner Boy completely untouched. We are far too evasive for any of your shenanigans. Paradox in the Wolverine doesn't actually want to get too close, but I do want to counter jam people. So, ooh, enhanced imaging. You know, we may as well utilize it. Activate the enhanced imaging systems so that we have all the cool stuff that we can do. And I want to shift on... I could shoot here from this point-blank range. I'm going to do this just to see if I can't find that fulcrum again, because I don't see him. Apparently he's used his rocket pods. Oh, we got some good hits on him, and apparently he had AMS. So he managed to shoot down one of our rockets despite all the bullets that he was just spitting on out of there. So where is that fulcrum? He should be like somewhere right over here. The Blackjack moving on forward, trying to get a better angle on the Burner Boy. He has continued to fire and continued to miss this entire time, which I'm not complaining about at all. So that works out okay. Death Crusade. Death Crusade, hopefully can get a line of sight. Apparently not. The Shadowhawk is going to get on top of you because, well, you've come into my neighborhood. Set the risks to SRM mode. Wow, that is still going to be really bad. Turn off one of them. And I think we just want to listen kill this one. Probably should have just punched him, unfortunately. So I don't want to cook just yet. I want to wait. Oh, there's the fulcrum. Okay. So that's, now that we've identified the target, we actually have to get to him, and that might be a bit of a chest, but, not Chester, Paladin. Alright, Paladin, I need you to run for it, and I need you to go for that. It's going to be a hard shot, because he's jamming us to high heaven, and he's a fairly fast, nimble, light thing, but if you can get some good hits on him, there we go. Fulcrum's out of the fight, and his jamming, so now we just got the Cicada with his jamming to take care of. And once we've got him dealt with, oh, it'll be good. Kitsutsuki is still jammed, but what it can do is walk right up on top of him and not do anything. The rack is now unjammed. Alright, so now that we have this, we're going to set our Thunderbolt to normal mode. That way it doesn't accidentally blow up on top of us. I believe the Thunderbolt has a minimum range. Maybe not. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Let's not be dumb. So we're going to sprint, make sure we can get a little bit of additional range. It's not going to happen, is it? Right, can I punch? Just regular punch? Okay, I can punch. I need to attack your... Left is right. This no, this side. So I need to punch on your left side and hopefully break through all of that. Go for it. And the reason why I'm going with a punch is one, to chill out, and two... Oh, I gotta shut off his enhanced imaging before he hurts himself. So... That is a bit unfortunate, and pilot check instability, but we're fine on that one. We do have a Cicada to kill, and that should take quite a bit of effort, but once we get that done, we will have the enemy exactly where we want them. The catapult maneuvering for a better position, but luckily for us has not managed to find it. Oh, our Gauss rifle has jammed. That does not happen often. Normally it is a very reliable piece of equipment, but apparently not today. And there we go, managed to blow off his entire left arm with a punch coming from the Shadehawk, so not bad. He's lost his evasion just in time for Howl. So Howl's going to line up with her Gladiator. This mech is designed for exactly this purpose. Kill it. And it's not dead. I was expecting an XL engine, if I'm completely honest. He's panicked. Critical, as you expect. Will you eject? I mean, you did just fall over and take even more injuries. His pilot health cannot be good. Coach, the hammer could actually kill him potentially if you can get close enough. I doubt it, though. Risks to Infernos? I mean, the Infernos have a better chance of hitting, so go for the Senators of Fire. Hey, he got it! I mean, he lit the entire forest on fire to do it, but he got it. Alright, and the MML 10 is unjammed. Lovely, so now we get to be aggressive. Alright, so the hammer gets to come back over and start contributing to the rest of the fight. We will shift on over here so that we can start to engage the other side soon. Set this second Inferno back onto the normal LRMs. We can target over here and we will fire at the trooper. Just need a little bit of damage down on him. He doesn't, and there he's dead. Alright, so 2 more mechs have been taken out. We are down to just 3 remaining. Although, to be fair, they are the 3 well, 2.5 of the scariest, because the Mongoose is, well, it's not that scary if we're completely honest with ourselves. It's a fairly mundane mech. When it comes to actual fighting capability, it's not terrifying. I'm going to set this sucker down to 3 because I don't feel like jamming it so soon. So it did get a hit on the blackjack already, so not terrible. Did you jam the gun? Please tell me no. Not you. Good, the gun is still go. So we should be able to just rapid fire everything in the coming rounds. I do not have a sufficient amount of anything. The Gauss normally does not jam this much, so we're going to jump. Get some evasion going on. This will get us moving. We'll brace as well. Okay. And it looks like our gas rifle has unjammed. The Mongoose providing also a little bit of protection on this one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just run right on through you. Hi, buddy. I have really high accuracy, although you'll probably be able to handle this heat, but please try not to miss. Missed with 1, and that'll give him 69 heat. So missed with more than 1 then. Okay, so we are now entering the phase of the battle where the enemy can see us, and that will result in lots of incoming fire, I anticipate. Death Crusade's Shadowhawk could come in for some point-blank range fire. There are flames along the way, which will probably reduce us from being able to do point-blank range fire. How about you? Will you experience flames along the way? You will. That is unfortunate, but I think that's what we're going to have to suffer with. Right, so we can take care of the heat. I think my system is online and I don't know. But if I can just, there we go. Alright, so we've dealt with the last of the ECM systems. I think I'm not cooking, but it's really hard to tell in this mech whether or not you have the... Do you... Heat generation decreased by 10%. Harder to hit. Energy weapons. I'm checking to see if we have our problem on... Not the problem, the prototype level heatsink to give us additional heat cooling effects. Okay, 40% chance to hit on him with the LRMs. I think what we'll just do is brace, because I don't want to cook this round. Next round we can fire everything. The Wolverine, on the other hand, does not care about any sort of heat that you happen to bring, because at the end of the day his weapons are not required of such things. Double tap on towards the blackjack. Both of them managed to miss, but we only got the 2 targets left. To be fair, they're probably the 2 most dangerous. The pirate blackjack probably a little bit more dangerous. But yes, this blackjack has the capability of harming us in several ways, but they are apparently falling back. Honestly, not a thing I would have done, but hey, I'm not them. So we'll shift on forward. We can fire the shot without too much trouble. We can generate quite a bit of heat if we do this one. I'm going to shut off the medium lasers just to keep that under control, and I'm going to fire the higher explosive. Missed by negative 25%. Again, we are just going to even more hilarious numbers. And up to Finn. In the Kitsutsuki. So time to come at them from... Oh, are you serious? Oh, I've been trying to get this gun in range all game. Suffering for it. However, we will reserve. Hopefully we'll do that and come in within range. Apparently not. Okay, Paladin in the Burner Boy, which hopefully can get right on top of the target, because this ought to keep you nice and toasty. You didn't move all that fast or all that far. And I've got a lot of fire. I think we hit with every single one, which generated 92 heat. Threw him in the heat critical status, and he's got a jamming device as well. There is so much electronic countermeasure on the field right now. Blackjack attempting to headbutt us and failing, so that helps out quite a little bit. And if I can get the Shadowhawk... Yes, what you can do is you can turn this mech completely off. This is a risky thing, yes, I understand, because you may end up generating... keep SRMs, Infernos. This is half the reason we built this mech. Actually, this is the entire reason we built this mech, was so that we could do that. So he did shoot down a couple of them with his AMS, but at the end of the day... Oh, that did not work out well for him, did it? Can shift on over here, give a target, set this back to the... What's the ID? 10. Set it back to normal mode, medium lasers to on. Shut it off, we came too close. Just fire these. Yeah, he's cooking next round, whether he knows it or not. He is not going to be able to avoid that fate. Blackwell Gauss rifle to on. And I do have a side angle shot, but I'd prefer to go for... Honestly, a back angle shot will do better. So see if we can't just plant one right between his shoulder blades. And that'll do it. Right torso has been destroyed. He's lost one of his ER large lasers. And if we get a little bit more onto him, we might be able... Oh, like so. Actually, do you have a... Oh, I don't have a direct line of sight on him. I do have a direct line of sight on you. Infernos, 44s for use. We'll go with the 44s, unfortunately. Shut off the medium lasers for heat control. Because if I fire enough fire into his back, I might be able to kill him. Engine core crit wasn't exactly the kill I was hoping for. We'll have to probably rely on the Kitsutsuki in order to pull that one home. So Finn, bring the Kitsutsuki. Bring it all the way here. Time for all the fire that you can manage. We'll go for 5 because it has the accuracy bonus. Okay, didn't kill him. Very disappointingly didn't kill him. And he is no longer evasive, so we can actually just run up to him and probably wipe him out should I get enough backfire on him, like so. So we'll shift on over here. All weapons to on. And he shot down all of the missiles with the AMS, so that actually kept him alive and in the fight. But guess what, buddy? You're not going to be able to do that to this one, because I have snub-nosed PPCs. Alright, so that one's been taken care of pretty gosh darn severely. So now, it's just you. Oh crap, our radical double heatsink kit is activated. So that is a bit of a problem, because now it is starting to cause issues for us. Alright, so we can now get the hammer in range. So take aim, activate the Inferno SRMs for more heat. And that's a shutdown. That's a glorious thing. That's a glorious thing. Alright, Kitsutsuki. Get me a line of sight on his face. Back a little bit more. Oh, not quite that far back. So his ECM system is down. He's no longer evasive, and he's sitting right there. I was hoping that I could get a headshot on that one, but I suppose that might have been wishful thinking. The Burner Boy is just gonna sit there and more fire. I'm trying to go for a headshot. Oh, he got it. He got the headshot. Alright, so yeah, we have managed to burn out the entirety of the enemy force. Yeah, fire is powerful, and the ability to use that much fire is very powerful. So not bad taken care of all around. So we've now got 3 mechs that are designed to kind of torch people. To be fair, the Shadowhawk is a very swing roll thing. The Burner Boy is all torch, and the Hammer is also a swing roll torch. But the fact that we've got 3 of them means that we can actually take a mech from 0 to fully overheat if we invest 3 of our 8 mechs into it. We've made 1,030,670 C-bills, so not bad at all. Didn't get any bonuses for killing any support lance, but that's okay. No major penetrating hits, no major damage, no pilot injuries either, so this should be a relatively short repair turnaround. We got a blackjack part for whatever that's worth. Would have been nice to get the catapult just in order to try and build Lady Electo's catapult, although we may need more parts than what we actually have for it. We're keeping it just in case we run into any of the really cool gear that is happily kept on board that thing. We'll have to find out in the future. But sadly, we took that one for all the money. So we're comfortable money-wise, which means we can go check out the shop. Because we could buy things from the shop if we need it. And we may as well try it out. After all, it should hopefully be a fairly decent time for the shop to be filled, fingers crossed. And having enough money in order to buy some interesting pieces of weapons might allow us to redesign the Griffin in other ways, rather than just cramming all sorts of crazy, well, just basically swapping out for triple large laser. Oh, that triple large laser. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out, but it ought to be interesting. I mean, it's a 55-ton mech with triple large laser and essentially an AC-10 on board, and all of them share a range bracket. That could be very, very powerful if we get working quite nicely. All right, so 6,000 for 2 days, so that'll be a really rapid turnaround. Let me guess, it's 2 mechs took a little... No, it'll be more than that. It will be more mechs than that, because we did take some damage. No, it's just 2 mechs for 1 day. So look at that. We're starting to fix most of this thing. Beta pod will be ready in 2 days as well. So really we need 3 days in total. But that's going to be great. All right, we've got 1.8 million C-bills. We could sell a little bit more should I see anything in the store really worth buying. After all, we got a blackjack part we're going to get rid of because we're not keeping it. So check over on the faction shop. And let's go checking. So first things first, mag shots, no. Rotary anti-personnel large bore Gauss rifle. Fires 8 damage 3 times. Can fire between 1 and 4 shots with a chance of jamming. That just seems so terrible. It does have a ×2 critical, but a -1 accuracy and a recoil of 6? What? What is this thing? Clan Wolverine prototype? Clan Wolverine is dead by this point. I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to work. Is it like 4 times 8 times 3? Is that how that works? Because that seems really terrible. Well, just from my perspective. Light rifle ammo, totally worthless. Mag shots are interesting. I believe mag shots have internal ammunition, don't they? Or did they get rid of that? Yeah, internal capacity of 10 rounds. So they weigh 1 ton, they have 10 shots, and they do 30 damage. Those are pretty nice, but not 400,000 nice. Light PPC, no. I mean, pirate light PPCs are interesting, but it's almost 1 million C-bills. Double SRM ammo is fun for the efficiency, but this is also nice, but as you can see, we have 3 more tons of it sort of lying around should we need it. Jump Jet's new. Heatsink systems. We have an emergency coolant system +3, but no, not all that interested. I don't have a mech that has that much additional internal heatsink volume. Melee gyro, I have, or fire control system, I have a plus version of this. XL gyros are nice, but I have one and they're not that nice. The light tags are cool. Sensor snipers are really good, but not that quite good. And of course the mech check. Somebody was fighting an awesome and didn't really care for it. Got a linebacker as well. Linebackers are really cool mechs in terms of looks. It's the Obsidian Skull? Wait, really? Is that the Obsidian Skull? So I believe this is a super melee Atlas Mark III, but it's not that big. On Timberwolf parts, there's 4 Timberwolf parts just sitting there. I couldn't afford them anyway, but having a Timberwolf would be really cool. Timberwolves are really interesting mechs. It is a Timberwolf E, so there is that one going for it. But yeah, as you can see, nothing too special in the store today, especially not for sort of the low money cash that we're going on right now. But since we're 2 days away, we have to fix all our mechs. I do want to fix the Griffin, but the Griffin didn't do terribly. Beta pod is done, and now we can come over to engineering upgrades. And now that Beta pod is done, we can pick up another training module for 270 for... Is that what we want to go into? I mean, we've got all of the combat deployment setups. So it's just picking up the addition of the med bay in order to reduce fatigue, I believe. I don't know if it actually reduces fatigue, but it does keep your pilots alive a little bit better. I think what I'm going to buy is the training module. Yeah, it's the cheaper module, and we have enough money to buy the medical module, but at the end of the day, training module will also help Showboat actually get to a level where you can bring her on missions. Power systems are another tech increase that we can grab sometime soon, and the storage space just takes a long time. I mean, we already got the first tier, which was 30 days to build. Next tier we'll get sometime soon, and the next tier after that, and that'll reduce our price in total by 15% for just hauling random stuff around. Drive systems, yeah, we need this eventually because 1, it gives us a tech point, and 2, the trip reduction helps out a lot if you start doing a lot of travel. And then eventually we're going to get Gamma Pod for even more morale. But we are steady at the moment, which is good. We'll pick up some more of these, and that'll hopefully bring us up even higher on a rack, which will be even greater. Although I do want to grab the medical bay probably sometime soon. It'll probably be the next upgrade we grab. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tarak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I post one of these videos, press the little bell icon, leave a comment, and join us for our streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays as we play through Apollo's Vipers, a clan start version of this game, which we play with all of you, which has turned out to be rather hilariously interesting in a lot of different ways. We have built some pretty fantastic mechs, including the Lego, which is a Silver Bullet Gauss on an urban mech, which has proven to be quite effective. He manages to hit shots that he probably shouldn't hit. But anyway, and I will see you all in the next episode.